She stood at the altar in a $5,000 dress, crying tears of joy. But 3 months later, those tears turned into a desperate legal defense when her best friend revealed the $15,000 wedding loan had actually funded a secret five-star honeymoon. Imagine handing over your life savings to the person you trust most in the world. You've been through it all together. First heartbreaks, career pivots, the loss of parents. You aren't just friends, you're family. So when Elena comes to you shaking and sobbing because her dream wedding is about to be canceled over a venue deposit, you don't hesitate. You transfer $15,000. You tell yourself you're saving her happiest day. But what if that happiest day was actually the beginning of a cold, calculated scam? Today on Karmic Edge, we're breaking down a betrayal so deep it didn't just end a friendship, it shattered the very concept of trust. This isn't just about a debt, it's about a woman who used her bridesmaid's empathy as a personal ATM, thinking her special day gave her a permanent get-out-of-jail-free card. Let's look at the evidence. The emergency happened on a Tuesday. Elena called Sarah claiming the venue had a clerical error and needed $15,000 in cash within 24 hours or they would give the date away to another couple. Sarah, working a high-stress job and having just received a bonus, saw a chance to be the hero. She didn't just give the money, she gave it with a smile. She even drafted a quick note just so they both felt professional, saying the money would be paid back within 90 days of the wedding. Elena signed it with a heart next to her name. A heart. Fast forward to the wedding, it was spectacular. White roses everywhere, premium open bar, a 7-tier cake. Sarah sat in the front row, beaming, thinking her money had made this magic possible. But as the night went on, something felt off. Elena wouldn't meet her eyes. Every time Sarah tried to hug her, Elena was pulled away by the photographer or a distant relative. The thank you toast mentioned everyone, the parents, the groom, even the florist, but not the woman who actually paid for the floor everyone was dancing on. The honeymoon was supposed to be a modest trip to a local beach, but a week after the wedding, Sarah sees a notification on Instagram. Elena is tagging herself at a private villa in the Maldives. We're talking $2,000 a night, private chef, seaplane transfers. Sarah does the math in her head. That $15,000 wasn't for the venue. The venue was already paid for by Elena's parents months ago. Elena had lied about the emergency to trick Sarah into funding a luxury vacation she never could have afforded on her own. When Elena returned, the gaslighting began. Sarah asked about the money. Elena's response? I can't believe you're bringing up money right now. I'm a newlywed. I'm supposed to be in my bubble. You're being so toxic. Toxic. That's the word manipulators use when they're caught. Elena began telling their mutual friends that Sarah was jealous of her marriage and was trying to ruin her happiness by demanding money that was obviously a gift. Justice served. Now we enter the courtroom. Elena walks in looking like a victim. She's wearing a modest cardigan, holding a tissue, trying to play the part of the struggling young bride. But the judge, in this case, much like the ones we love to watch on this channel, has no patience for performance art. Miss Elena, the judge says, leaning over the bench, did you sign this document? Yes, but it was just a joke between friends. A $15,000 joke? The judge retorts. I don't see a punchline here. I see a wire transfer. The judge then asks for the venue receipts. This is the instant karma moment. Elena produces a receipt showing the venue was paid in full 6 months before the loan. The judge looks at the Maldives bank statement Sarah subpoenaed. The dates match perfectly. The $15,000 went from Sarah's account into Elena's and out to a travel agency within 48 hours. The judge's voice turns to ice. You manufactured a crisis to rob your best friend. You used her love for you as a weapon to get a luxury vacation. This isn't a misunderstanding, Miss Elena. This is fraud. You sat at that wedding, looking at the woman who saved you, and you knew you were stealing from her.
The ruling was swift, the full $15,000 plus 10% interest plus legal fees. But the real karmic edge wasn't the money, it was what happened after. The judge allowed Sarah to read a statement. Sarah didn't talk about the money. She talked about the 10 years of friendship Elena had traded for a week on a beach. She talked about how she would never be able to trust another person the same way again. As they left the courtroom, the mutual friends who had been poisoned by Elena's lies were standing in the hallway. They had heard the testimony. They saw the receipts. One by one, they turned their backs on Elena. She had traded her entire support system for a few Instagram photos in the Maldives. She was a bride with a debt, no friends, and a reputation that was now permanently stained by the word thief. This story is a stark reminder that entitlement has no limits. Elena didn't think she was doing something wrong. She thought she deserved a perfect honeymoon because she was a bride. We see this all the time. People who feel that their special moment justifies their worst behavior. But as we see on this channel every day, the bill always comes due. Was Sarah right to sue her best friend? Some would say it's just money, but they're wrong. It's about the principle. It's about the fact that if you don't hold people like Elena accountable, they will continue to leave a trail of destruction behind them. Sarah didn't just get her money back, she got her power back. What would you do? If your best friend lied to you to your face to take $15,000 for a vacation, would you take them to court, or would you walk away and eat the loss for the sake of the friendship? Let me know in the comments. I want to see a debate on this one, because this is one of the most polarizing cases we've ever covered. If you loved seeing this entitlement get dismantled, hit that like button. And if you're new here, subscribe to Karmic Edge. We're dedicated to uncovering the truth behind these high-stakes betrayals and making sure that in the end, the right person always gets the last word. Thanks for watching, and stay sharp, because you never know who is looking at your savings account with a dream in their eyes. We'll see you in the next courtroom.